And I want to dive into this, this entire presentation where we're really talking about building a defensive culture, then sustaining it. So I want this part here kind of give a little bit of a pause to and let everybody kind of answer this for yourself, as if it was a classroom setting. So if you could boil your defensive philosophy down to one sentence, what is your mission on defense? So think about that for a second. And then for me, our philosophy is we're going to give up one contested 2-point shot every possession. So now with that, then, as you continue to develop your mission and your culture, what are you going to value and what do you emphasize on defense? So I think these are things you can think about, obviously, during this time period where we're not around players and we're in our, in our offices at home doing work and preparing for next year. What are you going to value and what are you going to emphasize? For me, it was always like, we're gonna chart contests. We're going to make sure that our team has a culture of contesting shots. We're going to try our best. We're going to value transition defense. We are going to value rebounding the basketball. So it can be whatever. The idea here, though, is that what you value and emphasize, I think for everybody in coaching, is that if you start getting into 8 or 9 things, and this is what I think I had as a young high school coach, there are 2 things I did. I tried to do everything on the court and hold every kid accountable to, we're going to close out perfectly and we're going to rotate this and we're going to do that. And all the time it doesn't work because it's too much, and it's too much for them to think about. And Pete Carrill had a good line in the Smart Take from the Strong. He said that when players think too much, their feet slow down. So I think that's really important to keep in context with this whole defensive culture, is that you cannot do everything, and really get it down to 4 things that you can emphasize and what you value. Now with that, you go into your principles. So what principles on defense are you going to totally lock into on a year-to-year, day-by-day, drill-by-drill level? So I think that will provide you framework then, coaches, for the last 2 points there in the document. What are you going to hold your team accountable to on defense? So this means after every game, you're going to evaluate and share with your team these numbers, whatever those numbers are. If it's defensive field goal percentage, if it's threes taken against you, if it's rebounds, if it's deflections, if it's steals, whatever it is, you have to decide as a coach what you're going to share every time with the team. And then that has to ultimately go back to your principles and your values. All of those stats have to connect. It's kind of like the same thing in the classroom. If you're going to grade and you're going to really emphasize your ability to teach writing in your class, and then we're going to teach, have group projects, you have to have a way for your students to be able to effectively be good at the things that they're going to be graded on. So as a teacher, then think, what's the grade going to look like for the team at the end of the game? Pick 5 things that you really believe in and then teach those.